Hello and welcome back to the JSano fan server with me, Mr. Muckluckable. And once again, much like last episode, we are at the Guardian farm, but things have changed. Look behind me. Ooh, what is this? Buildings have formed suddenly. Let me quickly get in the right perspective. There we go. Because we've had a little bit of work done here, not by myself, but by Ace. Ace has been here and redesigned the area because he's currently in the process of making a rail track from the Guardian farm right here all the way back to spawn, that direction, which we'll soon have a look at in a second. But so now all these chests that were here, they're now over in this little storage room. Very nice and neat. Everything's organised, beautiful. And also, what else did I want to say? Well, we're not actually going to be working on Muckluck today because that was the last episode, even if it was a while ago. We're actually going to do something as a kind of gesture of thanks to Ace for doing this, because it does look much better. He even made like a nice little fountain bit in here. Look at this, isn't this pretty? Ah, to return the favour, we're going to do something that Ace asked people to do. So along this route, you'll see it's pretty long. One's inbound and one's outbound. I think the top one is outbound. I can't remember. Along this path, there are a few islands which he said could people possibly do something with them? You know, build something, design something on there, just to make them look a little bit more interesting and make the journey to and from the Guardian farm, just more interesting to look at, because otherwise it's just, going over land. And I thought, you know what, yes I can do that, I will do that. It'll be a nice little change of pace from building Muckluck. Yeah, it's these ones over here. And I've got an idea in mind, so why not? My island, I've claimed, is actually the one all the way over there to the left, which has the cacti on it. And I've already made a little bit of progress. It was originally all grass. I have covered it with sand instead, because sand is going to be necessary for my little build. Now, I'm not going to give away my build as I'm doing it live. You'll just have to kind of guess at what it is, and hopefully it will be obvious by the end of the episode, when I'll just say what it is anyway. Oh god, did I throw that in time? I did. So here we are, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this kind of in the background almost, as I do a little bit of a ramble, much like I talked about my trip to Manchester and Liverpool. But instead this time it's going to be about my trip to London to go see a Star Wars themed event sort of thing. First things first though, just before I start that, let's get the basics out of the way first. TNT. Oh god, no, don't lose that. Yes, TNT is necessary. This was not the best way of doing it. Oh well. Just for a little bit of a terraforming, I guess is the word. Can I do it like this? No, I messed it up already. Wow. Oh god, go in there. I'm really bad at that whole shift thing. Do that. Okay, that's plenty. That is plenty, and we'll take that. So, I just want to make this hole and then I'll get rambling. Let's see. Yeah, it is still dirt underneath, which is a bit of an issue. But man, I don't use TNT enough in this game. TNT is so fun. It's so fun. Let's put another one maybe here. Oh, I've got to get ready to escape. Hang on. Oh god, that was a bit of lag then. Oh, that's too far. Oh! See, this is why I don't use TNT. Where am I? Okay. Yeah, it is a little bit, by the way, we're joined by Killer and Naxa today. It is a little bit laggy on this server for some reason, I don't know why. Never mind, and we need to make a few more. We want this to be kind of like a natural shape, that's why I'm using TNT rather than something else. It probably still needs to be a little bit bigger, you know. Maybe TNT is not doing what I wanted it to. Actually, no, it's fine. Let me just get rambling anyway, because I'm just going to be blowing up and placing blocks for this episode. So if you don't like rambly ones, I'm sorry. But that's going to be about it today. So yeah, I went on a Star Wars themed trip, and I thought I'd cover it because it was interesting. It was a very interesting thing. So it was a trip to go see Secret Cinema presents Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. It is based on, there's a company called Secret Cinema, and what they do is they take film series, famous films, and they try and make them a bit more interactive, a bit more fun, a bit more kind of kind of crazy in a way, a lot much crazier than just going to the cinema normally. I'll give you an example of what they do. So they did one for Back to the Future, which I would have loved, by the way. I think I would have liked it more than Star Wars. And for the Back to the Future one, what they do is it's quite expensive, but you they built a recreation of a 1950s town, because obviously in Back to the Future, Marty McFly goes back to 1955, and so they kind of remade the diner, remade the town clock, all the famous things you'd recognise out of the film. And what you do is you go around, and there's actors that play the roles. So you might get an actor who plays Doc Brown, and an actor who plays Marty McFly, and it's all kind of a bit funny and a bit crazy and just a bit of a laugh, really. They did this for Star Wars, and I fortunately won some tickets at work. I now don't work there anymore. My placement is now over, but where I used to work for my university placement, they gave away some free tickets to well, not free. There was a competition which I won, so I got a pair of tickets. So a friend and myself, we headed to London a couple of weeks ago now, to an area of London. It was Canada Water Station, which I'd never been there before, not at that particular station anyway. And I should kind of say beforehand, to make this interactive, because it's all about making films interactive, the Secret Cinema, they give you a character beforehand. They probably didn't do this with the Back to the Future one, but with the Star Wars one, they give you a character, and you have to sort of embody that character and kind of roleplay as them almost. So I was given the character of Jorg Ula. Jorg? I'm going to go with Jorg, actually. Let's see how this hole's looking. Yes, that was my character. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's better. And you're a particular faction, so I was a galactic explorer. But there were also like Jedis, and there weren't Jedis, actually. I don't think there were Jedis, because you were part of the Rebel Alliance, so there were no Jedis. You could have been a pilot or like a counselor or something like that. All random crap. So you're given your character, you give them what clothes you have to wear, because you have to kind of dress up. Well, you don't have to, but they suggested it, so I didn't do too much. I put on some beige kind of colours and some pastel colours, browns, beiges, just to kind of like a galactic explorer, like a sort of safari in a way. So I just put on the jumper and stuff. Nothing too fancy. And my friend was, I can't remember what he was. I think he was a pilot, but they expected the pilots to wear bright orange jumpsuits. And it's like, who has bright orange jumpsuits just in their cupboard? Oh yeah, perfect. Gives me an opportunity to use my bright orange jumpsuit. I mean, unless they do DIY or something, I don't know. Anyway, we get there at Canada Water at about 6 o'clock. Yeah, it was 6 o'clock actually, or 6:30. And we meet a little group of people who are there to kind of wait for guests. And we get going to this event. And it's all very exciting because, it's Secret Cinema. We were not told much about this event, really. It's kept very low-key. Perhaps even too low-key, but I'll get onto that later. So yeah, we followed these people. We go through a sort of tunnel-y thing. And yeah, suddenly we're with all these other people and ready to go in and meet some commander guy. Everyone else has got all these dodgy dresses on. Not well, I suppose it is cosplaying, because cosplaying is where you try to. That's the difference, right, between like just dressing up, like costumes, and cosplaying. Cosplaying, you have to sort of try and be the character. Is that right? I think that's right. So yeah, I guess you could say some people were cosplaying, which sounds a bit weird, but they were. And one guy was even in a bathrobe, which I thought was quite a good idea. I mean, it looked kind of futuristic in a way. So we're in this big group of people. We've got our scarves. We all had to wear scarves to denote our factions of different colours. And we're told, yep, we're going to get met by this general guy, and we had to kneel down, which I didn't like. Kneeling, not good. And suddenly we're all kind of whisked away. We have to run to, I guess it was like a sort of what was the docking bay? It was sort of like a docking bay, I guess. Sort of thing. Not quite sure how you describe it, to be honest. But yeah, it was like all these conveyor belts and big screens. And I must say, I don't know where this particular thing was set. I have no idea. It must have been in like an old factory or something. But they did do a really good job dressing up the set. Like, you never saw anything you weren't supposed to. They did a good job covering all the modern day stuff that would take you out of it, I guess. So you didn't see any like fire extinguishers or health and safety posters or something like that. It was all Star Wars weird galactic language stuff, which I thought was very well done, because this place was huge, really, really big. So we're in the docking bay. We have to go through some part of it, and they take off. Well, they don't take our phones, but they make us put our phones in these bags, these silver bags, and then they heat seal them. Yeah, they heat seal these bags, so you cannot, absolutely, definitely not, take your phone out. They really want it to be that secret that you cannot. I was a bit surprised by that, but you know, if they want to keep up the secrecy, then that's how they've got to do it, because people will be snapping and taking selfies and stuff, I guess. How's this going? Is this going alright? Yeah, I guess so. Oh god. So we go through the docking bay, and that's when we get to like the main part. Because I should have said, with this secret cinema, you do eventually watch the film. The whole thing is that you do this sort of interactive bit, and then you go watch the film. And it's just a nice way of watching the film. So then we go into the main area, like the main sort of bit. That doesn't look good. Let's change that. Which was Tatooine. Oh, I should have said, sorry, I'm skipping things. I'm skipping very important details. But after the docking bay, I should say, or maybe before the docking bay, we were on a spaceship, which was just a room with some projectors at the front to look like the front of a ship, like the glass of a ship. And yeah, we were in a ship, we were heading somewhere, but then, oh no, we crashed sort of, and we were boarded by stormtroopers. Uh-oh. And so the stormtroopers came and they arrested us all, and we had to go and leave the ship. And that's when we kind of crash landed on Tatooine, or Mos Eisley, as I'm sure you all remember from A New Hope. So yeah, Mos Eisley was the main section, and it was this massive great hall, sand on the floor, all these sandy buildings, and the two suns were projected on one wall, all that sort of stuff. It looked okay. You know what? I mean, it's never going to look as good as a theme park. It's never going to look as good as, say, like Harry Potter World at Universal Studios or wherever the hell that is, because they just don't have the budget for that. But it looked Star Warsy enough. They had all the kind of, they had what were those buildings called? I don't know. They do have a name. They're like farms, like the farms that Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen worked on in A New Hope, Luke's foster parents. And yeah, so you go and you're like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. This looks really good. That's what you think anyway. And then this is where the problem started, because then we just kind of, my friend and I, we just kind of looked around and we're like, what the hell do we do now? Because you're not really told what to do. I mean, the general gist of it is that, yeah, you take on your character, and you go around and you sort of role play and talk to people. There are lots of actors there, like there are actors for the Back to the Future one. There are lots of actors here playing, say, actually I need some more things. Say, yeah, like Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen were there, for example, played by actors. There were these kind of Empire officers there who go around and arrest people. They were there. there was actually, I think I might replace this one. Every now and then, a kind of little event would happen, like a little kind of staged event. So, at one time, the hover car that Luke's hover car, the red one, that came through the hall, and C-3PO was on it, and Luke Skywalker was on it. They do all these little things every now and then, which I guess is alright. But yeah, like I said, so you're supposed to go talk to these people, but really, I didn't have a clue who was who, because, like I've said, people were dressed up for this thing. Oh, I'm doing this in the wrong space. Yes, people were dressed up for this, and I couldn't tell who were actors and who were just people that really made an effort to dress up for this event, just the public. So I didn't really want to talk to anyone, and so we just ended up kind of walking around and seeing some stuff, and oh, that looks kind of cool. And I mean, I guess it's our fault, because to an extent, you have to kind of be. You have to let your guard down and just kind of take things for a bit of fun and really come out of your shell, as it were. But I was a bit too cynical, I think, and I was a bit too like, alright, to do that, which is my fault entirely. And I'm sure there are people that loved this Star Wars thing. I mean, especially kids who watched it, when they were 10 or whatever in 1977. I bet they loved it. However, I guess I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan. But anyway, once you do all this, you're supposed to go around and trade stuff and kind of get secrets and work out where things are. Once you do this, you are then off to go watch the film. Off to go watch Empire Strikes Back. I should add, by the way, there were little Jawas. Jawas? Yeah, that's what they're called. Running around the place. Which is pretty funny, because they were kind of trying to steal from people and chasing people. There was one very drunk lady who was getting chased by a Jawa. And there was this guy who was filming it as well, which I thought was a bit, they say no mobile phones. But then there's this guy with a great big massive professional camera filming all this stuff. Anyway, let's see, what else could I... Yeah, that's okay, that's fine. So we go through about to watch the film, but not quite, because there's one more thing we need to do before we watch The Empire Strikes Back. And that is, we need to have the events of A New Hope told to us, or really acted in front of us. So, we go into this great big long, it's kind of like it was this shape, a really, really long hall with walkways above us. And on these walkways above us is where all the action took place, because the actors would then come and, there was an actor for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he would come along and turn off the shields, like in New Hope. And there's also an actor for Han Solo and Chewbacca. They would come along and do whatever they do in the film. Can't remember now, but and all the stuff happens from A New Hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader have their fight, and Kenobi dies. Sadly, they didn't get a guy to actually disappear and his cloak fall down. I guess that was out of their budget, but he just kind of falls over. And then they do the ceremony, the ceremony end of the film, where they march up and take their medals from Princess Leia. I guess that's okay. Actually, I think I'll get rid of those. Oh, crap. And so yeah, that was kind of A New Hope done. So then we could watch Empire Strikes Back. It kind of led quite nicely into it. I mean, to be fair, it did kind of seem like one big pantomime, but I think that's what people wanted. It was very pantomimey in a way. But they can't exactly do it seriously, so how else could they have done it, really? And then we watch, and I was actually quite looking forward to this bit, because A, I haven't seen Empire Strikes Back in a long, long time. But B, I wondered how they were going to make it interactive. And the answer is, they didn't really. Whenever there was a blaster on the film, they would, like, a light would flash in the actual room, which was supposed to make it feel like, oh, there's a blaster going right over my head, whoa! But that didn't really have that effect. There's a bit naff. And what else did they do? They had the actors who had been playing Luke and Darth Vader and Princess Leia and Han Solo, every now and then on these walkways above us, they would come out and act the scene the same time as it's happening on the film. So, for example, the whole Han Solo getting frozen in carbonite, that was sort of acted out, and the actor was like, the actors were saying, "I love you, I know," that sort of thing, and "No, Luke, I'm your father." That was there. The actors did that. It was alright, but often you didn't really know where to look because stuff was happening up there, but there's also the film going on. So it's like, well, do I watch the film or do I watch these kind of naff actors? I think I'd rather watch the film, to be honest. But I mean, I'm making it sound really bad. It was free for me. I know I got these tickets for free, and therefore I can't really complain too much about it. If I'd paid for this, and by the way, yeah, these tickets would have cost about maybe £75–80. It's not cheap to go see this. It's definitely not. You really have to be a big Star Wars fan to justify the cost, because all this other crap you can buy as well. I mean, they had the cantina there, you know, the famous cantina, with the music playing, and you could go buy some alcohol, some space cocktails and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't really complain, but I definitely don't think it was worth it. It would have been worth the 75–80 odd quid they were asking for. Really, I just don't think so. Again, maybe it's because I'm not a big enough Star Wars fan, but see, if they did like, yeah, if I went to that Back to the Future one, I'm sure I'd love that. That seems like much more up my street. Star Wars, not so much. It was a good night though. It was a good night. It was just kind of bizarre. It was almost like I felt like I was in the Crystal Maze a little bit. I've mentioned Crystal Maze quite a lot on this channel, so you might know what I'm talking about. But Crystal Maze, you know, it was a game show in the early 90s where contestants even would go around and complete challenges. But the set of this game show was like it's a proper set with 4 different themes: industrial, or oceanic, medieval, that's alright, medieval, industrial, futuristic, and Aztec. And it kind of reminded me of the Aztec one, where the contestants, they run through this set, and that's what I kind of felt like I was doing, like was running through this set of Star Wars for a little bit, and that aspect of it was good. Am I out of... oh crap, I'm out of things. But, yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say, really. I think it was a good night. It just... yeah, I should have let my guard down a bit more, and just maybe I need to be a little bit drunk. I actually think that, legitimately, I think you needed to be just a little bit tipsy to really enjoy it. I mean, there was a reason why that woman was laughing and being chased by a little Jawa. She was completely off it. There we go, 45, that's more like it. It's a bit dark down here, isn't it? But anyway, have you guessed what I've been building whilst rambling about that? It is Star Wars themed, I'll say that. There's a reason why I talked about Star Wars doing this. Put one there, one there, one there. So yeah, if you know your Star Wars, you probably was able to tell what this is straight away. That did the job. That right there, I thought what would be... I should have made it bigger really, it should be maybe about this big. But I thought as you're going over the tracks, what would be freakier than seeing beneath you, there you go, a great big Sarlacc pit from... Return of the Jedi, that one's from, isn't it? Yeah, third one. As Jabba is taking off Leia in the weird ship things. And I think it's where Boba Fett dies. He falls into one, doesn't he? What we could even do, you know what might have been nicer, is to add a little... oh god! To add a little edge to it. But you know what, I think I like the teeth there more. These are supposed to be teeth. Nope. It would be Nope. Weather. There you go. So yeah, anyone wondering, I think it's actually finished now, the secret cinema thing, so you can't go anyway. But if you were thinking of going, I would not suggest it unless you were a massive, massive Star Wars fan and had a bit of money to spare. Otherwise, probably just go and watch the films again. I'm sure that a lot of cinemas are going to re-show the original films before the new one comes out in December. And I would really suggest that, just to kind of experience the films on the big screen again, because that was nice. But maybe not do the whole acting out thing. You can't anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't suggest it. It was fun, but it could have been better for me. They could have told you more about what to do. A little bit more guidance, I think. Anyway, that was a nice little break from doing Babbluck. I'm sorry I rambled for like God knows how long. Let's check actually. 25 minutes. But yeah, I thought I'd help out Ace. I think it might be worth actually getting rid of these. No, the cacti can stay, I guess. Maybe I should place them out a bit more though. Maybe a bit more randomly like that. But I hope Ace doesn't mind that there. There's a little bit of Star Wars-ish stuff. Probably next episode we will get back to Babbluck because it is almost done, and I do want to finish it. There also may be another episode, which, well, I won't say just in case we don't do it, but yeah, there's another group event in the works, which is good to see. And I'm just rambling now, so I've been rambling the whole time, but I better stop now before I ramble forever and ever. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye. Okay, I'm back. Very quickly, just to show you that I added some sand around the edge to make it seem a bit more inset into the land, because, you know, it is a Sarlacc pit. It's supposed to be deep down, so now it's like it's burrowed and all the sand is around the edge. And there are the cacti kind of growing all around it, which looks quite nice. Yeah, I think it looks a little bit better like that. But that truly is the end of the episode. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.